Welcome to In Edina, a program about the people, places, and activities all in the city of Edina. I'm your host, Lillian McDonald. We hope your holidays were merry and bright, and we're looking forward to a brand new year. And we've got a jam-packed show to get us started. We're going to visit with Senator Geoff Michel. Thank you very much for joining us, Republican Senator. Welcome.
Thank you, Lillian. Happy New Year.
Thank you very much. Really appreciate you being here. Wow, we had a huge election year going back, and now going forward, lots of turnover and lots of change. What are you looking for?
Isn't it nice that the campaigns are now over? Yeah. And now we move from the election to actually governing. I think it's going to be an exciting year in St. Paul. There are a lot of what I'd call meat and potato, basic issues for Edina and the western suburbs, things like schools and things like roads and transportation. So I think we will be starting the new year in St. Paul with a lot of work to do. A little bit easier this year?
You know,
I think there was a pretty loud message from the voters to both parties. Get your work done. Get your work done. And that's easier to say than to do. But I think there's a bipartisan consensus that's growing on issues like education, on issues like freeways and transit, and the environment. And I think this 2007 session could be one of the most productive ever.
Does it make it a little bit easier since we have a little extra cash to spend, or is that tougher now because you've got to try to figure out how to take a little bit of extra cash and spread it out across all these projects?
Well, I'm going to say the glass is half full, and it's going to make it a little easier. 4 years ago, stepping into this job, we had about a $5 billion deficit. This year, we've got a couple $1 billion in surplus on the bottom line. I think that takes a little pressure off. We can actually talk about some new investments. And also, I don't think there's a huge cry to raise taxes. I would say this is not the right time to be raising taxes. We got to keep this economy moving ahead. So what I'm excited about, Lillian, is we have about 50 new legislators, about 1/4 of the body turned over. So we've got some new people, hopefully some fresh ideas and some new energy, and that would be a good thing to have at the Capitol.
In Edina, it comes up over and over again on this program, schools and transportation, two top issues. What are you going to do there?
Yeah, and the number one job for the legislature this year is to put together a 2-year state budget. That's about a $33 billion enterprise, and the number one spending category that we have is schools, K through 12 schools. That should be our number one priority. It is. We need to figure out what we can do from the state level to help districts like Edina, like Bloomington. Those are districts that are doing a great job. How can we help Edina parents, Edina teachers, and Edina principals continue to do a good job and produce students that are ready for not just to beat Iowa and Wisconsin, but now we've got to be winners in this global economy, and that's a different proposal than we looked at from the schools 50 years ago.
Transportation, 62, 35, all big issues around here.
You know, we have some good news. We've got a 3rd lane on Highway 100 that makes it a little easier to get in and out of Edina. Crosstown is the next big highway project on the calendar, and it's been recently announced that we're going to get going on that this year. Another bottleneck that I would point toward, Lillian, is 494 and 169. That's a mess, and there are just certain basics we should expect from government, and taking care of the roads is one of them.
I know you like to work with local officials. Let's face it, it's not just from the top down, it's from the bottom up. How are you going to do that this year?
You know, again, it's so nice to have the election season over, and I think Republican, Democrat, brown, green, voters expect us to work together. Now that the votes have been cast, now it's time to work together. I'm actually pretty proud of the example that Edina has set. The legislators who represent this area the city council and the school board, we get together regularly. I think we're all on the same page. We may not always agree on every issue, but we're making it a point to listen to each other and to work together, because that's what the people of Edina should expect.
Well, we're looking forward to this year. We'll have you back and see how it's going.
Thank you.
Very much,
I'd love to
Senator.
do a report card for you.
That'd be nice. That'd be nice. Thanks a lot for joining us on In Edina.
Thank you.
Well, our local officials are also looking forward to redevelopment and transportation issues in the new year. We took some time to visit with 2 council members. Let's see what they're up to. And joining us now are 2 new council members, or I should say a new council member and an incumbent council member, both recently sworn in. Congratulations to both of you. With us now, we have Joni Bennett and Scot Housh. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you. Congratulations, and I know the agenda is quite full, as it always is, and there's lots of activities going on, but we're going to start with Joni, who's got quite a bit of experience on the Transportation Commission, also the Morningside Neighborhood Association, and lots of different community-based initiatives. What are you looking forward to this year?
I am looking forward chiefly to working on the comprehensive plan with the residents and neighborhoods in the community. It is a blueprint for Edina's future. It will affect a lot of decisions made as we move forward. I believe that the city has been very well planned and well managed to this point, and would like to see that continue forward, and would like the process to work at embodying the vision of the residents in the neighborhoods.
And it's clearly a huge plan with a comprehensive plan, because it covers residents, it covers businesses, it covers new development and redevelopment. Anything in particular that you've got your eye on right now?
Well, I'm very process focused, and I am focused on having the community arrive at a vision it can hold in common. That's sort of my chief goal starting out. I also have some interest in the environmental factors in the comprehensive plan, things like green roofs on businesses, also looking at stormwater runoff in construction of homes and businesses. So there, I would like to see a greener comprehensive plan moving forward.
Councilmember Housh, comprehensive plan is something you've been working on and looking forward to as well. How would you address this?
Well, I think the process that we've established will be very inclusive. We're going to have Heather Worthington, our assistant city manager, drive that process, and she's explained to us how she'll be doing that, inviting the community to come and tell us what their ideas and thoughts are about how Edina should look and feel as we move in to the next stage of our development. You know, as Joni had mentioned, Edina, I think, has benefited from having exceptional planning in the past, and I think it's even more important now as we redevelop our community that we take time to reflect and to point ourselves in the right direction in regards to land use and transportation.
I would imagine that there's always challenges, and obviously there's going to be differences of opinion about how things are going to be laid out in the future, and that remains to be seen. But how do you benefit from some fresh perspective on new city council members in this kind of process?
Well, I think the fun thing about being on the council is you're serving with other citizens who care about the community. And Joni, I know from her past work on the Transportation Commission and also in the Morningside Neighborhood Association, cares deeply about this community. So I think when we all bring that perspective to the table, good things will happen. It's always natural that there may be a difference of opinion on a particular issue, but we're committed as a council to work together in the best interest of our citizens.
Now, you've interested in the community initiatives, and you've got one in particular that you've got your eye on. Tell us a little bit about the Pacer car.
The Pace Car Pledge is a community-based initiative. It requires city involvement, maybe a kickstart from City Hall, but in the state of Minnesota, the local streets, the speed limit is 30 miles an hour, unlike some of our surrounding states, and communities are not empowered to reduce that citywide to 25 miles an hour, but 25 miles an hour is a far safer speed for travel on local streets. I would like to see us adopt a petition and pledge system whereby residents throughout the city promise to drive no more than 25 miles an hour on local residential streets, thereby becoming the pace car for the traffic behind them. And as we build that throughout the community, I believe that we will change the norms and the speeds that traffic observes on our city streets.
And I know transportation is clearly an issue in the comprehensive plan. Scott, how would you add to that?
Well, you know, we've experienced for at least the past 10 years, and I think probably longer than that, that there are some hot spots in our community where traffic is a problem or an inconvenience, certainly. And so we've got our Transportation Commission hard at work trying to deal with some of those issues. They've just recently brought the Northeast Edina plan to our attention, which we've accepted, and they're moving forward with those initiatives. And now we move to West 70th Street, which is an area that has dealt with large volumes of cars. And how do we best deal with that as we move forward?
How are each of you getting residents, businesses, and others involved as you start to shape some of these opinions?
Well, one of the things we try to do is to make sure that there's a wide distribution of communication within the city. And Jennifer does a wonderful job with the website and also with shows like this to try to help people understand what's going on in our community. And our plan is to try to start using Channel 16 a little bit more aggressively in terms of broadcasting additional commission meetings so that the public knows what's going on at City Hall.
For years, I've been in contact with neighborhood leaders in neighborhoods around the city. There are a number of neighborhoods that do have associations, some dating as far back as to the 1960s. And so I hope to continue to be in contact with neighborhoods via their leadership, also directly with residents. And I would like to see neighborhood associations, widespread network of neighborhood organizations be developed throughout the city and have an open avenue of communication between those neighborhood associations and City Hall on a regular basis.
Well, clearly we have a lot to look forward to with each of your approaches, a grassroots approach and a more formal approach, and the blend together will carry out many of the initiatives under the leadership of the City Council here in Edina. Congratulations again to both of you. We look forward to both of your projects and initiatives going forward. Thank you a lot for joining us.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Well, the political climate is heating up, and so are the social events right here in the city of Edina. And joining us right now, the president from the Chamber of Commerce, we have Ari Larson-Menti for the Emerald Gala this year.
Yes, we do.
Big event?
Oh, it's a huge event. It's our largest social event of the year, and it's fabulous. It's coming on February 10th, 2007 at Interlochen Country Club.
Now, that's different this year.
It is. We have decided a couple of years ago, we have two beautiful clubs in Edina, if you don't know that, and we go back and forth between Edina and Interlochen, and this year it's Interlochen, so we're very excited.
What can we expect? It's a big affair.
It is. You can expect dinner, dancing, silent and live auction, and you can also expect that it will be standing room only. We do sell out each year, which is a fabulous problem to have. We will do so this year with our major sponsors, TDS Metrocom, Fairview Southdale Hospital, Washburn-McGreevy Funeral Homes, the Galleria, and on and on and on. So there will be about 30 tables.
Now, the silent auction is a hot gig.
It is a hot gig, and we have fabulous donors throughout the city. You do not have to be a member of the Chamber to donate. So if you are out listening to this wonderful show, please donate. Call the Chamber office. It's 952-806-9060. And we'd love to have silent auction items or live auction items. We do a great job.
And it's not just a business affair?
Oh, absolutely not. We have the Sevilles. They've been with us for about 10 years, and they are as comfortable with us as pretty much your bedroom slippers. People get up and start taking over the microphones by the end of the evening. They're creating their own songs, their own music. It's wonderful, and Michael's great with us, and we have a great time. So if you love to dance and love to it's called our Black Tie Admired but Not Required. So if you want to get dressed up after the holidays, do a little pre-Valentine's thing. Come on to the gala. It's fabulous.
What a great date night.
It is.
Sounds like
it
a lot
is.
of fun.
It's wonderful. Live auction will be wonderful as well. We get things like Florida trips, condominiums donated, things like that, flights all over the place. So those are always fun. But the most important thing that we do really is that we have a raffle. And this is where the entire community can get in behind this, whether you're a business or just a parent who has kids in school. Mm-hmm. Our raffle tickets are $10 a piece. We're sponsored this year by Southdale Center, who, of course, just celebrated 50 years of being in Edina. And what happens with our raffle proceeds is they go into our Teacher of the Year award, and they are given out as well in scholarships. So the Education Committee comes in, takes those proceeds, gives 2 scholarships away, and the Teacher of the Year. And then the Teacher of the Year is also matched by TDS Metrocom, and that teacher gets $1,000 from the...
Well, that's a nice gift.
It's wonderful. And you know, the teachers in Edina give it right back to their students, so it's an amazing community event.
Well,
so
who decides? Who decides as the Teacher of the Year?
The Education Committee does, with the help of the counseling department at the Edina High School. We get names brought to us, and they go through them. We give them out in May at our annual meeting, and the Teacher of the Year is done at the same time. But the Teacher of the Year is actually given an opportunity to parents donate, or excuse me, sponsor these teachers. And it's an amazing event. We get book reports that I'm not kidding you, that are amazing. So it's an important event. And then the parents also come to an annual meeting and support the fact that this teacher has won. So it's just a great community opportunity. So we'd appreciate that. And if you're looking for tickets, again, contact the Chamber office. We'll be out in the community trying to sell them. And they're $10. So it's a pretty reasonable opportunity to win 3 great prizes this year.
So the Emerald Gala, February 10th.
Yep.
Interlochen
Country Club.
How much are the tickets?
Tickets for individuals are $125. Call the chamber office or check our website, or buy a corporate table from $1,500 and up, and that includes 10 tickets, among other things, and great advertising opportunities. So.
And you're also talking about a sellout.
We are. It's standing room only every year. Interlochen and Edina can only hold so many seats, so please join us. We take over the entire club. Silent auction can be up to about 160 items, so we take over the place.
I'm sure the food is fabulous.
It's wonderful. We will have a split, as we always do. There'll be a little beef, there'll be a little seafood, and of course there's fabulous wines that will be on the tables, and it's just a great evening.
Great. Emerald Gala, February 10th. Contact the Chamber of Commerce. We're really looking forward to it.
Thanks for having us here.
Thanks so much. Well, the Emerald Gala is clearly an elegant affair, but there's lots of activities going on in the city this month. We stopped by Edinborough and Centennial Lakes Parks, give you some ideas to help you over the winter blues. Take a look.
Edinborough is one of the best indoor play areas in the entire Twin City metro area for kids. We offer the best indoor play structure called Adventure Peak. It's a 40-foot tall by 40-foot wide play structure that has sliding, climbing, crawling, you name it, over 50 different activities for kids to be involved with for hours and hours. We also have a great hall that is a large multi-purpose space with an inflatable jumper, balls, scooters, basketball hoops, just a great place for kids to burn off steam in the wintertime. We also have an amphitheater area where we offer performances free for families at Thursday noons. Those programs are geared especially towards preschoolers. We offer a really wonderful indoor exercise facility for adults. We have an indoor pool that has an air and water temperature of 84 degrees. We have an indoor track that is 1/16 of a mile, and we have pieces of exercise equipment as well. We have 2 elliptical machines, 2 treadmills, 2 recumbent bikes, and a multi-station gym. We have a really fun event coming up in February. It's on February 10th from 6 until 9 p.m. It's our annual Midwinter Beach Party. This year we will have entertainment in the amphitheater. We're going to have a giant inflatable slide. We're going to have balloon sculptures. We'll have food, games, prizes, and your admission will give you entrance to the pool and Adventure Peak and the Great Hall. So it's going to be a really fun family event for kids of all ages. For more information, please check our website at edinboroughpark.com or contact our front office at 952-832-6790.
Winter activities at Centennial Lake center on our ice skating rink. We have 10 acres of groomed ice. We groom it daily, so it's just a beautiful ice surface. We also have our large warming house here with 3 crackling fireplaces, skate benches. We have lockers and restroom facilities. We have a full concession stand as well as a skate rental and ice sled rental. People really seem to like to skate at Centennial just because of the atmosphere. We pipe music out onto our 3 ponds. We also have a lot of holiday lighting as well as just the fireplaces and the comforts that you don't get at your normal rink. So that's been kind of fun for people. People can call us here at the park at 832-6789, or otherwise they can look at our website, centenniallakespark.com, and we keep that up to date with both winter and summer activities.
Doesn't that look like fun? I hope you have an opportunity to get outside and enjoy winter here in the city of Edina. And I also hope you have an opportunity to take a sneak peek at a beautiful brand new piece of art in City Hall. It's a huge stained glass window set on the east window of the building, and it's absolutely gorgeous. And joining us to talk about this beautiful piece of art are Linda Kiefer, Public Art Committee Chair, and the artist himself, Michael Pila. Thank you very much for joining us on In Edina.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, tell us, Linda, how did we get this beautiful piece of art at City Hall?
We began about 2.5 years ago when the Edina Public Art Committee first convened, and our first charge really was to embellish our beautiful brand new City Hall. We wanted a project that would be very large in scope, very dramatic, and also, importantly, something that was virtually maintenance-free, that wouldn't incur continuing costs. So art glass panels seemed to fit the bill, and we wanted something that would be unique to Edina and represent its unique heritage as its origin as a milling settlement,
Community.
1857, and something that would really represent what our community has grown into.
That's a beautiful, dramatic piece. And I know you sifted through several resumes before you finally
did.
settled on this
We
artist
did.
here. Tell us a little bit about the piece. How big is it?
Well, the piece actually spans 2 stories and is intended to be a wall of glass. So it's quite large, made up of 11 panels. And
I know one of the things that make you a very unique artist is stained glass is often seen made with lead, and you use copper elements. Talk a little bit about that.
yeah, a number of years ago I began using copper channel instead of lead channel to fabricate my work. And then also in addition to that, even more signature kind of aspect is that at the intersections where the joints meet, those little intersections are covered with plates that actually reinforce structurally the piece, but give it a very highly finished look compared to traditional stained glass technique.
It doesn't really make it kind of look bright, and the morning sun coming through there is just absolutely beautiful. It took how long to make?
Well, we've been working on fabricating it for about 6 months, so it takes a while. A lot of individual pieces of glass cut and assembled in order to make this all work.
And the colors, how did you pick the colors? Where do you get the glass from? That's huge.
Well, the palette was actually chosen by working with the committee and the architect of the building, so that it's a collaborative process to create something that really belongs in the building as opposed to something that is applied to the building.
So you work with the architect, Linda?
Yes, we thought it was very important to include the architect because his City Hall is an award-winning building, and we wanted to make sure that the glass project looked like it was made with the building and not something that was just added on.
That's what I like about it. It's really interesting. Now, when you're putting something like this together, it's a piece at a time, obviously, but it's so intricate and it's art. So, I mean, what were some of the challenges?
Well, I think the first challenge is to come up with an idea, a vision that is appropriate for the space. And then, of course, you have to, in a really practical way, take that and turn it into a structural element that'll fit into a building. So it's a lot like it's a pattern-making process. And that's just a very painstaking, tedious, piece-by-piece process.
Wow, and it took how long to install? I mean, once it was made, then that was quite a big process to get it in the spot.
Yeah, we were able to begin and complete the installation within 1 week. So that included scaffolding up the space, bringing in the windows, setting stops, setting the windows.
And the crew?
And the crew was actually, this time was myself, my son, and my wife.
Oh,
so,
beautiful. How much does that piece weigh?
The piece weighs close to 500 pounds.
Wow,
So,
it's absolutely
altogether.
beautiful. I want to thank both of you very much. Now, I know this funded, it's about a $60,000 project, and you are accepting some donations. How can people contribute to this beautiful piece of art?
Well, there is a unique fundraising opportunity that everyone in Edina can be a part of. The quarterly utility bill has a check-off on it where you can donate either $1 per quarter or more if you choose, and that will go into the Edina Public Art Fund that will help to pay for this piece and also fund upcoming projects.
Beautiful, and we look forward to all of those. I'd like to thank you both again for coming, and we'll watch on the website because I understand the unveiling and the celebration of this piece of art will really happen next month. Great. Thank you very much for
Thank you.
joining
Thank
us.
you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Well, it took some volunteers to put a beautiful stained glass window together, and fortunately, the City of Edina is blessed with many more volunteers in action. Joining us right now is the Executive Director for VEEP, volunteers enlisted to assist people. Susan Freeman, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you. It's a mouthful. A lot of people don't know what it stands for. Thank
well,
you.
VEEP is a great organization, and you have been involved for 30 years. Congratulations on that anniversary
Thank you very much.
year. You've seen a lot. Tell us about it.
I've seen a lot, but I think it stays the same. The mission stays the same. 1973 to 2007, the mission is the same. Neighbors serving neighbors in need. It was started by neighbors. It was started by volunteers. And I came on 3 years later, in 76, with the job of supposedly coordinating the volunteers. I always think that one of the reasons is I learn more from them every day than I think sometimes I give. So that's what keeps it fresh, what keeps it an honor to be there.
And it's grown so much. Your capacity,
it has.
number of volunteers, how many?
The volunteers, ironically, stay about the same. 1,000 in 2007, 1,000 in 1976 when I started. The churches have grown. We have member churches. We have partnerships in corporate America. We have partnerships with the schools, civics. So that has grown tremendously.
Who are you serving?
Well, that is sometimes problematic for people because it's very hard to know that our target population is low income. And you look at the communities we serve, of Edina, Bloomington, Richfield, and you wonder how could we have low income out here? But we do. We call them the working poor. I mean, that's a title. It's not necessarily a name.
But who is the working poor? You think if you're working, you'd be okay.
You'd think so. It's misnomer sometimes. Bloomington, Edina, and Richfield make up the largest hospitality center in the state of Minnesota. Most people do not know that, but there are more hotel rooms out here than there are in Minneapolis and St. Paul combined. You add Southdale, you add the Mall of America, you add the airport, and you have a huge hospitality industry, which historically employs people at very low wages.
And sometimes without benefits, I'm imagining?
Absolutely. If you do not work, you do not get paid. And if you do not get paid, you run the risk of losing your housing. If you can't pay rent, if your car breaks down and you can't get to work, you can't get paid.
And health care benefits aren't always a part of the package.
No. What is shocking for many people to realize is when they go to a healthcare facility, many times the people they see filing or moving carts around themselves do not have health care.
What are some of the things that VEEP does to help offset some of those working class challenges?
The main purpose of our organization is to strengthen the family, to strengthen the household, which in turn strengthens the community.
Yeah, exactly.
When a family cannot pay the rent, we can try to help. We can we put food on the table. We can help get a car repaired to get them back to work. If you've worked all your life and you've been a good person and all of a sudden you're living on a very fixed income and your prescription drugs are quite high, we can help you get to the doctor. We can help you with some of those, maintain your dignity that you will deserve. So it's volunteers doing the work.
So you're talking about a hand up, not a hand out.
Yes.
Nice. So as you look forward to 2007, what are some of the challenges?
VEEP began a growth campaign a couple years ago, and we doubled our space. And as all things, when you do this, you hope you have all the time in the world to put it together. Our holiday program in 2006 began 2 hours after we finished setting up the toy store. So you live on donations and you live on faith that it'll come through, and it did. But our holiday program in 2006 served 400 more families than it did in 2005.
That's good news.
And 700 more children. It is good news. They were all eligible based on income, so we are able to reach out more. We're able to serve more. We're happy for that.
That's good. So you're going to need some more help to keep it going and keep it strong.
We need volunteers. Volunteers can help VEEP in just about any way. If you're retired, we're there every day. 5 days a week and one evening. We are open one evening a week because of so many people who work. They need one evening to come see a social worker or to come to the food shelf. So we are open.
It gives us an opportunity to give back to the community too.
People can be on committees. They can help us with consultants. They don't have to come in and work during the day.
How do we get a hold of you?
You call our number, 952-888-9616. We have orientation and information sessions twice a month. It's on our website.
Thank you very much. Really appreciate it. Thank you very much for all you're doing for the community too. Susan Freeman, congratulations on 30 years of VEEP. We look forward to many more.
Thank you.
Well, we had a jam-packed January show. We took a look at some local political issues. We had a little bit of winter fun. We're looking forward to the Emerald Gala next month. And of course, we'd like to thank all the volunteers that support our community, and we took a peek into that stained glass at City Hall. Take a look at it sometime. We'd like to thank all our guests for joining us this month, and we'd like to thank you for watching. We look forward to talking to you next month. Thanks for watching In Edina. I'm your host, Lillian McDonald.